Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I do hope you are doing well. I'm going to talk to you about today is this article that came out in The Guardian with Harry. And to me, this looks like Harry is in full panic mode about his future and just giving you the insight of what we are seeing. There's a lot of different directions that all this information that we are seeing can go in, and it could definitely lead to a lot of different things. I'm going to give you my take on it and why this is such a pivotal time around Harry and his relationship with Meghan because of what they're both doing. Okay, so let's get into it. The one thing that is very striking to me about Harry's going to see his father, the fact that we knew that he was going to see his father and that there was this information that was portrayed by the palace around meeting with Harry and Meghan's representative a few months prior. They're definitely implementing a plan. A plan has been set to change the narrative, to get Harry some kind of, FaceTime with his father. These are things we know that the king has agreed to because they're not coming out and saying otherwise. It's interesting that we didn't see really pictures of Harry going to see the king. This is just information that is being reported. But when you don't actually see proof, it's hard to really take it at face value because they can tell you anything that they want you to believe. Okay, so for the sake of listening to what the narrative is and trying to decipher what does that mean is what I'm going to do. But the mere fact that Harry is diverting from the original plan that he and Meghan had when they first moved to California, when they were going to be a team, tackling things together, trying to make it together, to separating officially, professionally, and now we see Harry doing what he's trying to do professionally and Meghan is doing what she's doing professionally. This is what it tells me, and this is so key to everything. What it tells me is that Harry came back to doing what he was born and bred to do after he failed. Meghan and Harry saw that they couldn't have this billion-dollar empire. They couldn't go to, have a brand that had them together professionally and make all this money and be very successful. So Harry is now trying to resort back to just doing things on his own, by himself, because he couldn't do the commercial empire that he had hoped to do with Meghan in the very beginning. So it's like, okay, let me just go back to what I know, because look, I can't pay my bills right now. I got to resort to what it was always supposed to be all along. That tells you everything. That tells you that Harry has failed at trying to do things outside of being a prince. Things I've always said, like what your butt doing in California, trying to make money commercially, trying to do all these things when you don't have no skills. You have no talent. We knew it was going to fail, but his foolish butt didn't know that. So he had to go through this failure to realize he has to go back to what he knows all along. So he came to the realization of the errors of his ways. The light, the clouds kind of came in. He was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm failing. I can't pay these bills that I have now as a regular person. Let me go back. And that's what we see happening right now. This is the plan that has been executed for Harry along with his papa, to help him get back on his own feet, or to be, in a position where he can not have to worry about how to pay his light bill or his mortgage. Like, just do the royal thing. Your worth is so much more there as a prince. Yes, we know. Forgive me. I've got to do a little bit of fanning because I'm still a little warm. It's a little warm today. So that's what we realize. And now Meghan, we see, is doing her thing commercially, because we don't really hear things about Archwell. I mean, yeah, they've got the Archwell with the Netflix show with Meghan, but they're not really not in the mode together for their charity work and trying to piggyback as these rogue royals.
We remember when they first came to California trying to look like they were these caring people by volunteering, helping out, trying to support the community until they got their deals. Because we can't forget that Harry Sentabali charity talked about how he did not even care about Sentabali once Meghan came into the picture. So if he was doing that already at the time with Sentabali, what makes people think that when they went to LA for the first time to start their billion-dollar empire, that they were going to do things to really care?
Separate from the real royals. They see that model doesn't work. And so Harry's doing his own thing. Meghan is seeing that she's failed at her as ever. Her show with Netflix has failed. There's no season 3. This woman has essentially failed at what she has attempted to do outside her life as a royal. And so what I'm finding is that Harry sees certain things now to be the truth. The truth of his life has really revealed itself to him now, and he's got to reckon with that. And this is why you see this article in The Guardian where he says, "My conscience is clear. Prince Harry on Ukraine, his family, and the media." So he's trying to reestablish things that give him his being a prince like status, power back. Like he's trying to get that prince, like, see me as a prince. See me as a legitimate prince. He's really trying to get that back, and Meghan has shown to Hollywood, to the world essentially, that she can't really do what she's been trying to do as this failed woman in Netflix and her own brand as a guru around cooking and being nice to friends. I mean, of course she's going to fail. She failed at it on a real level. She failed at it in real life, and she failed at it in pretend fairyland Netflix life. Okay? Because this woman we know how she has treated her friends and her family. Like any show that Meghan was going to do about the joy of cooking with friends and family, we knew that was going to fail. Because she couldn't even do it in real life. On the down low, she failed at it that way too. So it's just like, people. So what it shows you is when you see Harry doing these articles and even talking about his time with the prince, the king, which he promised he wouldn't do, yet we hear what happened during his time with the king. That's going to be another video. But what we are seeing is someone who is clearly taking advantage of his ability to represent as a prince because he couldn't do it in a way that made him billions of dollars commercially. So it's all using this prince type position to make money because he couldn't do it the other way. So let me ask you this. Does this really show you that his heart truly is in this work in Ukraine? Trying to be this representative on behalf of people. Is his heart really into it now that he has failed at these other things? I would say no. His heart really isn't in it because now we can see it's about survival. So he has to look as if he is now this compassionate person that wants to go out and, represent on behalf of himself right now, because officially he's not really back within the monarchy, but I believe he really is. So when he says things that his conscience is clear, we know that not to be the truth. That's not the truth. Your conscience is not clear, but you want to say it because that's what you want your reality to be. And so Harry is in a position now where he is in panic mode, trying to reestablish himself before he lost it all with Meghan in going to California. That's what this is. The article is completely ridiculous. I'll look at a couple things that's in this article, but I want you to have that as the foundation of everything that he is doing from this moment. It's purely to make money and to establish himself again to be liked after he failed doing it with Meghan. The aim of the visit is to promote the work of the Duke of Sussex's Invictus Games Foundation and to celebrate the recovery and rehabilitation of thousands of veterans there who have suffered life-changing injuries since the war with Russia began 3 years ago. So he's there to celebrate it. Now, if you're in war still, I don't see what there is to celebrate. Sit your butt down unless you're going to get up and pick up a weapon and go help fight this war. What's the point of you helping to celebrate anything? Like, the whole reason why they're even doing this article makes absolutely no sense. But we understand he's a failed prince that needs people to see him as what he used to be. So he's using all of these things. It's propaganda. Now, this is where part of that propaganda comes in, because it says, because of the sheer numbers of wounded, Invictus has become increasingly well known in Ukraine, and Harry, somewhat surprisingly, has achieved cult hero status. I say, au contraire, mon frère. No, you have not. Because we know that the Invictus Games people are trying to find a way, some of them, to get rid of Harry, because of how the mission has been taken over by Meghan and Harry to help brand themselves. Like, it hasn't the true meaning of what it was meant to be as, right when Meghan came along. And Harry allowed that to happen. So no, you don't have cult-like hero status, because you've already damaged the reputation of the Invictus Games on behalf of your wife. The Guardian accompanied him on his journey to the capital, something of a gamble for both sides, as Harry noted. He is suspicious of the media, and the Guardian has long been critical of the monarchy. Yeah, but you're not suspicious now, Harry, because this was an agreed upon propaganda move to have you look a certain way to the people. And I believe, along with his father, to help facilitate this, because I don't think Harry's able to just go visit Ukraine on behalf of himself as an ex-royal to meet with the prime minister of Ukraine, and to be able to have all this recognition and the security to accompany him here without the express approval of his father. So there is a collaboration there, because his father is trying to help him, which we can see that your father, I put up with stuff that my children have done that have made me very angry. But at the end of the day, it's your children. You love them. You want to do things to help them. And I think that is what the king has done too. Although he is angry and upset with his son, he's still going to do things to help him try to, get out and make his own way. We hear things in this article like he doesn't like posing for stage photos. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Harry. You like posing for stage photos because you know that's what you need to do to make your money, so you're going to do it. Like when he was playing swords fighting with that little girl at the Well Child Awards. You were there, you were making sure, where's the camera? Oh, here, the camera's here. Okay, here, watch me doing this. Like, look. You're not fooling anybody, Harry. You're conniving. You learned a lot from that wife of yours, to connive and to perpetrate fraud-like behaviors, because you're only here to make money right now. And I like how the article says that he is not, he says, the unhappy man that some of the press like to portray him as. But yes, he wants to spend more time in the UK. Yeah, you don't want people to portray you as unhappy, but we do know that you are unhappy being in California. Thus, the reason why you're saying you want to spend more time in the UK, because you're unhappy in America. The contradiction of what you just said. You see, there's so many lies and mistruths that he tries to make it sound like he's saying something that's truthful. But when you read into the context and use your third eyeball, you understand, that's a lie. That is a lie. Oh, yeah. Then they ask him, does he regret putting his side of the story in the very public way he has? No, he doesn't. My conscience is clear. And you know what? Once again, lying. Your conscience is not clear because you wrote a book and you talked about your grandmama. You did things with Oprah, grandfather, deathly ill in the hospital. Like, there's so many things that this man has done that he knows is wrong. But the problem Harry has, and this is what's going to be very relevant in a second, he is in denial of reality. He's in denial. So he believes by saying it, by putting it out there as, how you want it to be, is going to make it be what it is that you say. But we all know your conscience is not clear, Harry. Harry Windsor, your conscience is very much rotted to the core for the things that you have done, and you documented the things that you have done. That should trouble you very much around your consciousness. Netflix, Oprah, your book, Marrying That Woman. Hello. Yeah. So the fact that Harry says these things that he is doing, this try to look and see me as a prince again, shows us, and it shows the world, that he needs to use his position now to regain what he has lost, all the things that he has lost. I mean, how bad can it be when you're doing exactly what Megan did, taking pictures at the memorials of dead people? Because that's what he did in Ukraine, similar to what Megan did at Uvalde. How bad does it have to be that you have to use dead people and children to help you with your propaganda, to help people see you as sympathetic to a cause, to the death, to the war? Harry is in a position now where he is desperate to find his way back to being where he was prior to marrying Megan. And I'll leave you at this, because this article, there's so many different things, and it just basically is what I said, along with all the things that this article is trying to help people to see. We see the reality. And the reality is for you, Harry, in this moment right now, is that you are starting to wake up to your stupidness and the choices you have made. And because you made poor choices, you have to do the unthinkable. You have to use propaganda. You have to do things to make yourself seem sympathetic and loving and kind and wanting to help people, when we know the truth. The truth is you failed in California to build your billion-dollar empire, and now you're coming back to use people, dead people. You're using them to help yourself because you're selfish. You're somebody that doesn't truly care about the people you're trying to help. Because if you did, you would have never left your position as a prince in the United Kingdom, because that's what you were born and bred to do. But you tried to see the grass greener on the other side, and you saw it wasn't greener. So you want to come back now. You want to portray yourself as something that has always been this that we see right now in these pictures. Well, these pictures are a lie, just as your choices that you have made are coming back to haunt you. Everything that you have done has been a lie. You have woken up to it, things that we've talked about on this channel for years. And the next lie that you are going to suddenly be revealed to you, is the lie that you want people to believe about that woman you married. Because you don't want to face the reality of who she truly is. She's not like Diana. She's not that caring person you want people to believe. And this is why Harry was so critical of his family, his brother, for their criticism of this woman, because he didn't want to hear the truth. He did not want people to tell him the truth about what he wanted Megan to be. But the truth is going to slowly be revealed to him about who Megan truly is, because she will leave him. That marriage will not last. And Harry will once again be trying to find his way back to a reality of a good woman that he had envisioned for himself, just like he is trying to find his way back now to the life that he once had as a prince. Never forget, my friends, Harry has been corrupted by that woman, Megan, until he comes clean about all that he has done, because he's not sympathetic in this article at all. He's not apologetic about anything. He is still the selfish, entitled man-child that he has always been. He won't find solace in anything that he tries to do until he wakes up and understands, I've made mistakes. Come clean with what you have done. But don't try to perpetrate a fraud that you are now trying to help people. Not after we saw that you failed. You're not trying to really help people. You haven't learned anything, Harry. That is the reality. Harry is in full panic mode trying to get his life back. But he won't until he comes clean with his reality. All right. I thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you all in my next video. Cheerio.